What's happening, everyone? I hope you're well. Welcome to FFTV with me, Francis Green. And here we are again, people. Here we are again. Firstly, I hope everyone is having a great day. I hope everyone is having a great week as well. Let me just close a few windows so we don't get any lag on my computer. There we go. Right then, people. Hold tight, everyone in the chat. Absolutely love it. Support is here already. 20 in the chat already. Absolutely unbelievable, people. Really do appreciate it. And it seems like everyone, not just me, is talking about Arsenal. Even non-Arsenal fans, left, right, and centre. And it's actually getting a little bit embarrassing. Chris has said, watch Sage. Sorted that out, don't you worry. Big up from Top Form. Ashton's in. Mr. Bungle's in. What's cooking? Ashton saying Unai Emery wasn't even given the amount of backing by the board. Interesting. Martin, 130 million. We are still miles behind. Dave's put, hi, Fran, everyone in the chat. BK, big up, everyone. Craig, as usual, says, big up, Fran. Always on time. Yeah, it's very important. I was told that. Old type Fran, big up the chat. Buenos Aires is in. Buenos Dias. Sasha's in. Big up Fran community. Hope everyone is doing well. Sentiments in. Yaga yo. Andrew's in. Big up Fran. Jansen's in. Money spent poorly. And Levan's in as well. Your friend Udegaard is decent signing, but I want a war as well. Jansen's in the same. Big up Fran and everyone in the chat. And Mr. J84 Arsenal, the gift that keeps on giving. Well, when I started this, channel, I wanted it to be a very, how can I put it, blanket of football. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit more towards the Arsenal route, which I understand. Everyone's going to understand that. But let me just make sure this is all turned up. However, it's just obvious that we're going to do more, but I do cover other ones as well. So today I want to talk quickly about Man City with what's going on with them. And then we'll get into it about Arteta with this money, left, right, and centre. And then we will go into, obviously, the chat to make sure each and every one of you is okay. No quotes for you today from any of my books, so just hope everyone is doing well and doing good. So firstly, let's touch on the Man City thing. Vlahovic apparently is high on their target now. Don't know much about him, I've got to be honest. 21 years old, I believe. So they're looking at something, an alternative to what's happening with Kane. I think they're going to try. I think Daniel Levy is just going to try and pull Man City's pants down. And Man City have got to the point where it's like, come on now. Apparently, we're offering you 125 million now, and you're not willing to sell us. I mean, come on, a player who may be at his peak, if not, maybe it's peaked last season. We're not sure. So 125 million, I think, for Kane, and for them to turn it down, in my eyes, is just pure greed. And not just saying this because I'm an Arsenal fan. I hope it backfires on Daniel Levy. And if he does stay, that Kane is nowhere near as good as everyone knows he is. So for me, because it's pure greed, 125 million for a human being is absolutely insane. We've seen it around world football, but normally they're 21, 22 years old. But for me, I just think it's pure greed. And if he has had an agreement with, Kane, and he's decided to not do that, then, you know, Kane's a professional. He will probably react in a certain way, but I don't think you'll get the same Kane. I really, really don't. Maybe surprise me and you know, switch off and kick on from there. But for me, strange one. So Man City looks like they're looking at Vlahovic. Also, someone's mentioned in the chat that Mbappe as well. Now, Mbappe has made it quite clear that, not quite clear, he may move. Real Madrid, obviously, are the ones that want Mbappe, it seems. And Mbappe maybe at the moment with Messi, with Neymar, with everyone else that's going in that Di Maria in that squad, maybe he wants a new challenge. For me, I think you're absolutely crazy if you want to leave PSG at the moment with the amount of goals and street cred that you can take your game to the next level. You're not going to get a better opportunity. So, Vlahovic, obviously, Fiorentina, great season, young, strong, scores goals when it goes in the box, just like GB is saying, you know. So I think that's a good option for Man City. It really is, and I just don't think that they need to be held to ransom with what's going on with Kane. Now, as you're just about to get to, a lot of people have mentioned Lewandowski. Basically, I tweeted it earlier, has basically said, let's be honest, in code, Man City, come and get me. Let's be honest. His agent must be speaking And if Man City can get Lewandowski, I mean, all over. I mean, some would say that Lewandowski is a little bit better than Kane at times. I think it's a toss of a coin. So will they go for Lewandowski now? But you're going to see a big signing for me from Man City in the next week or so. I really, really do. It could be a fast one, but I think you're going to see a lot of business being done this season. A lot of people are scrambling around. It's a buyer's market. All the clubs are struggling. It's a buyer's market, people. So I don't understand what has now happened to, you know what I'm going to say, our club, and that's what we're going to get into. Levana's put, Fran, apparently Sky Sports are reporting that Lewandowski wants to leave Bayern for a new challenge. Do you think Man City could go for him? That's what I thought this morning when I seen it on the news. I thought that's a hint, that's a sign to say, please, someone come and get me. You know, please, someone come and get me. Lewandowski would be a dream signing for anyone. Better signing than Kane. Sharif has put, how can we trust Arteta and Edu have they've wasted 130 million pounds on average players and announced that obviously the Saliba and Guendouzi. Serie A, 8 teams say they are washed, easy to score. Yeah, but you know, goal scorers are goal scorers. If he's got a goal, I mean, if you can't score goals in Man City's team, you might as well quit because they ridiculous chances. Why don't City go for Haaland? Too complicated, want too much money. Mino Raiola, who most of you in the chat know that I've had to deal with in the past, is a tough guy to deal with. And he wants a fortune, and the dad apparently wants more than the signed non-fee, I've heard. So interesting. I think that's a complicated deal, that one is. Asanda's put, good evening, Fran. Arteta, no excuses. Now 150 million players that we brought make it make sense. Asanda, I hope you're well. So it must be good evening. You must be over the pond. Hope you are safe and well. How can City win league without Kane? I don't think they can win the league without a centre forward. I really don't. I think Chelsea are favourites. City should go all out and buy Haaland. Chris is saying everything backfires on Spurs with Levi in charge. Even loaning Bale was generally a flop. Yep, to be fair. Lionel has said, just started my work, Fran, here in the stream. Meanwhile, stay lucky, keep working. I'm glad that you've got me on in the background. Levana's also put swap Aubameyang and Lacazette for Lewandowski. I don't think they're going to do that. Shrift has put, only at Arsenal do we fleece for players like Odegaard, Ramsdale, White, £10 million COVID-affected market where the buyer is king. Pathetic. City should sign Eddie. I think even Eddie would score, to be honest. And Marty's put, Brenner's come to bro. We've got to give Ramsdale a chance with good staff, proper defense, and he could come good, etc. Right then, people. So let's get into a few things that I want to cover. It was mentioned, obviously, what's going on with City and Kane. Like I said, very, very strange that they're not accepting 120 million. And the only reason I think we've mentioned about it before in the chat is he knows, Daniel Levy, that Man City are desperate for a goal scorer. Aguero has gone. I'm surprised it's took them this long in the market. And I do think they've wasted 3 or 4, 5 weeks on Kane, thinking something might happen, but it just has not happened. Marshall's just subscribed. He has said, love the content, keep up the good work, and much love from New York, Harlem, Liverpool fan. Unbelievable. Liverpool was my first team with the Candy Kit and John Barnes, but the Gunners took it. But NY, unbelievable. Hope you're safe and well. And what a great city, Marshall. Thank you for the sub. Really do appreciate that. So, yeah, I think Levy's just going to, he's just going to long it out and hope that maybe there's a last day signing. But if they do go for a Vlahovic or they do go for a Lewandowski or an Mbappe, then Kane could be over and his dream move could be over, because I don't think it's happening after this season. Could do. We don't know, but I don't think it's happening. 46 in the chat. Absolutely unbelievable. Really do appreciate that. And make sure you hit the likes as well. So, right then, let's go on to what we're all here for. Let's be honest. A lot of people in the chat are onto the Arsenal. Right. The saga continues because we are now signing Ramsdale. And there's been a lot of animosity, should I say, or emotion involved in what's been going on in the transfer window. And I went on a channel last night, Armory TV, and quickly spoke about it. Very balanced, not even a debate really, but a very balanced panel. And it was more of trying to get the fans to understand what's going on at our football club. Now, the emotions are involved. especially for the older generations. And I know the younger generations are going to be, you know, frustrated because we're not competing with the big hitters no more. But to go where we've been and come where we are now is very, very disappointing. And I can see why. I mentioned it yesterday. There's a lot of people, and sometimes people go over the top. But there's a lot of YouTubers who are very, very, very angry and emotionally, frustrated with what's going on in this football club. But one thing I will not condone, and I'm not saying I'm a somebody because I'm not, but what I won't condone in any conversation, and I want a balanced argument, is abusing players who have just signed for us. You are just adding the fuel to the fire, should I say, in them failing already before they've even started their Arsenal career. Now, if you really, 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 really say that you want Arsenal to do well, why would you sabotage the chances of that by abusing a player for signing for a football club? Whether you like it or whether you don't, why would you go out of your way to abuse a player who has not even kicked a ball for our football club? I can't get my head around it. And you know what? Society and people and humans are a strange, strange species. Let's be honest. They are strange. But if you're a proper fan, how can you then abuse if you don't rate him, that's fine. Right? But it's not his fault that Arteta is spending the money on him. It's not his fault. And he's not going to turn it down. I wouldn't turn it down. You wouldn't turn it down. Arteta didn't turn down the move when we gave him the opportunity to be manager. But to abuse a player who has not played for you yet, I find that really, really dumb. And I would want for a better word, but I can't get an intelligent word to go with that. I really, really can't. So for me, we've just got to kind of come away from that. And there's no wonder that people from other clubs and fans from other clubs are mocking us and saying that we're a disgrace and saying that we're the worst fan base going and all this, because we're embarrassing ourselves at time. Not us, not saying the majority. It's always the minority, unfortunately, but the minority are the one that always get the headlines in anything, whether it's politics, racism, whatever it may be. The minority always get the headlines. So I just think, people, if anyone has even thought about it, or if anyone has done it, just have a little think to yourself and think realistically, how can I abuse someone who's not done anything wrong, except sign for a club, and he believes that he can improve us as a football club, So I just think it's a little bit strange when it comes to Ramsdale. I think he will eventually be number one. I really, really do. 57 in the chat. Unbelievable. Make sure you hit the like or subscribe. I believe that he'll turn out good. I really do. I think he's got a little bit of, it's a bit sad about him because he played behind a back 4 or 5 with relegated teams. So I think we've got to judge him on when he gets an opportunity. He's decent with his feet. I'd probably say he's probably better than Leno with his feet, because for me, Leno looks like absolute panic stations. I just don't get it. He looks like he looks panicky at times, not all the time. And just like Oyugun was saying, before I started doing this YouTube stuff, and I just used to kind of observe from the outside, I used to think there's so many different types of fans. And most clubs have 2 types of fans. You have the old school and the new school, and the people who like the manager and people who don't like the manager. But it's like sometimes we thrive off really, 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 really bringing the club down. So I was listening to a podcast the other day, and it was saying, when you go on a diet and then day 7, you say, oh, well, I've done a good week, and you bang a cream cake or a little bit of caramel tart down your throat to celebrate, and you've just sabotaged your progression. And I think we do that at times. In a way, we kind of sabotage our progress. Do I agree with what's going on in the transfer market? No, and I think that's what we'll get onto now. But I understand people's frustration, so I understand the balance. I really, really do. But I just think we need to rein it in a little bit at times. So let me get to a couple of the comments. The world is full of horrible via people. Fran, 2 weeks ago, someone poisoned my 10-year-old Jack Russell dog with a poison-laced meatball. I mean, unfortunately, the world that we live in, and it's got worse, by the way. There's no control over society, unfortunately. Social DRGs put next season, Ramsdale will number one. Leno will go next summer. I think that's the case. Some fans are thick. We all know that. Arsenal appear to have more than its fair share of mouth breathers. Every successful club attracts them. Man U have a lot. Chelsea have a lot. I get it. There's definitely a divide in the big clubs. Look at Sheffield United last night. Without him, he deserves a chance. Yeah, they got boshed last night. Vivian Coley's put, let's face it, Fran, it's not hard to be better than Leno with his feet. Yeah. And I think for me, which sounds really weird, I think he's an improvement on Leno. The way Leno has performed for me in the last 12 months, I think that he is an improvement, you know. Mr. J's put, I hear, Fran, I want Ramsdale nowhere near this club, but his social media should not be attacked. I must say, this transfer is despicable and should never have happened. Fair enough, and I get why people may not want him at the club. Drama merchant, fan base, Franny, yeah. Big up David McGoldrick. I absolutely, if you know, obviously you know Curtis, you know me. We're from the same city, and I know David McGoldrick very, very well. Good lad. Hope you're having a good Thursday. The boys saying sentiments put, isn't the fan base a reflection of the club? Not always, because I think, like I say, it's just a minority of people that tend to be the problem. Fran, do you think Arsenal fans being so negative about our fringe players affects their value and gives other clubs a chance to offer less? This is interesting because players check social media, and they shouldn't, but players do check social media. And if you've got, it doesn't matter who you are, if you've got a social media account and you're getting called crap, or you're getting called, you shouldn't be nowhere near this club. Some people have had death threats, you know, will kidnap your kids and all this kind of vile stuff that happens left, right, and center. That is definitely going to affect you when you walk onto the pitch, because you've already lost before you've started. You've already lost before you've started. I see that with the England team. I see it when a player gets abuse. There's only a certain type of players that can kind of stand up and brush it off the back. Even if you're tough, it's still going to affect you. So, and I think a lot of our fringe players now are probably looking to get out of this club. And we've got to have a mass exodus, to be fair, to get rid of these players, if that's the right word. Sorry, correct me if I'm wrong. Are the Gooners put, those people abusing our keyboard warriors and sit with their mum's basement, jobless people? That tends to be the stereotype for those people. We need to get behind the team and support our players. Kashoy's put, Fran, when will Arsenal admit they are a mid-table team? We are mid-table. We finished mid-table twice. Let's be honest. 8th class is mid-table. Leonard's put, Arsenal keep our fans undivided, where I think the club does it on purpose. With all these Latoro links, it's all bull. They makes us think that they makes us think the best, but we get nothing out at the end of the day. Fran, you actually remind me of Joe Budden. I get that a lot. Joe Budden, Thierry Henry. I've been called all sorts. Shrillick put, I agree with you. I always hate Xhaka, and I think he shouldn't be binned. He should have been binned after the Palace incidents, but never have I ever thought to abuse him or his family personally. It's just ridiculous. It's coward. It's just being a coward. We all have our little ups and downs, and we all have our times that we really want to say to someone, you know what, tell them, but we can't. Fran, I love the cream cake analogy. I'm trying to keep fit at the moment, but I'm going to have a cinnamon bun right now. Please forgive me. I told you, you're sabotaging yourself. This is it. And I do it, and everyone else does do it with everything. This week, trading's been shocking. I sabotage myself. Sometimes I've done it when I've gone on diets. I sabotage myself, etc. Just remember, if you do that, all the hard work was a waste of time. And will it bring you a step closer or a step further away from what you want to do? Chris has put, is it true that social media is loud and it filters through to club thinking and agent behavior? Social media is the most powerful thing, as you know, right? We're on a platform now, kind of really, of a social media, but it ruins people's careers, and also makes people's careers, by the way. Mainstream media are just as bad, Franny, always pushing negative narratives. No, and listen, and I know Adrian Durham very well. He's a Peterborough supporter as well, and his job and Talk Sports job, etc. Simon Jordan, all these lot, is entertainment. But this week, it seems like it's just bashing Arsenal, you know? Can criticize the player's performance, but should never get personal. 100% agree. 129 spent on for this summer, but have we actually strengthened the team? 700 million squandered now in 5 years. Unbelievable fees. Rion's put, Fran, do you think people are being too hard on our new goalkeeper? I think it's disrespectful, and you got to give him an opportunity. You've got to give him an opportunity. He might end up being one of the best goalkeepers we've ever had. You don't know that until you give him the opportunity. We don't know, you know? We really don't know. The only thing world class at Arsenal is their PR team and the training kits. No, let's keep working out, guys. I'm here pumping weights, feeling so good, releasing endorphins, and here in this fire stream. Now, get in the gym, people. Get in the gym. Get walking. Start wherever you need to start. I think that's a good idea for us to start a little fitness or well-being community. That's a good idea. A lot of people have asked for that as well. At least we get the new pro training kit today. And it's put, even the Taliban were criticizing social media. In there after Marcus Thuram, obviously Lillian's son. So I just think with the Ramsdale thing, I just think we need to ease off it and give an opportunity. Give him an opportunity to show when he plays number 2 that he's a very good shot stopper. And he's decent with his feet. So, you know, he's going to concede a lot more goals than Leno. Of course, I fully understand that. But I think we need to give people an opportunity, to be honest. How Beast is saying, did I see Agbonlaho's Arsenal versus Chelsea tweet? I don't think I did. I think Agbonlahor talks a lot of absolute nonsense, to be honest. Was a great player, I've got to admit, but I think he talks a lot of nonsense. And a lot of the time, listen, I'm not one for, hammering other people. You know, I don't like to do things like that. But a lot of these people that do get jobs and a lot of people that do talk to the media, they are so biased. It's unbelievable. And I think maybe these outlets should look at things a little bit different and get more people on that have got a balanced argument, in my opinion. Twitter bans offensive and violent content, yet Taliban fighter sent 200 tweets in 2 days. Well, we can't get involved in that political side of things. Like I said, there's always a balanced argument for everything. I can tell you that. There's always a balanced argument. Come on, Fran, do you seriously think that Ramsdale might end up as our best keeper ever? No, man. That's an L, I'm afraid. Listen, I'm not saying he's going to, but you never know. Probably not, because he's not going to be one of the great teams. Great goalkeepers tend to be in great teams. So he's not probably going to be. The chances are very slim. However, you do not know. You do not know. No one thought Bitcoin was going to go from 0 to 60,000, but it did. So no one knows really. But I understand what your argument. It's a very, very low chance, to be honest. But I think he will become number 1, and I think he'll be all right number 1. I've got to admit, Southern Explorers put big up yourself. Really do appreciate it. FN's put, Fran, a different perspective. With the club signing young players with high potential, we are changing the culture and strategy of the club, and this may be a success in the long term. 100%, and I think that's where we're going now. Wilson's popped in the chat. Chelsea fan has come in. Hi, friend, just finished watching Curtis. He had great show, funny like always. Just popped in and say hi. By the way, I'm from Australia, so it's getting late here. I will stay up for a little chat. Hey, listen, other side of the world, mate. Absolutely love the support. Love the support. Wilson's put, do you think Arsenal need Odegaard and Awar? Yes, I think they do. So let's move on from the Ramsdale. I think he'll do well. And let's go on to what we're going to speak about. Everyone thinks this is a waste of money, as in the total. We've spent probably 130 million, which at the moment will be the highest in the market. I think Man City will obviously beat us with the business that they're going to do. But I just think that the way we've spent money, I understand the model, just like FN was saying, right? You know, the model of what we're trying to do. We're trying to bring young players in. We're trying to, how can I put it? Go with a different model. Al Beast is saying, even Big C friend Curtis Woodhouse said Ramsdale isn't worth 30p, let alone 30 mil. That's true. Obviously, I played with Curtis Woodhouse a lot, and I seen that he tweeted saying, obviously going in on us. He said he's got potential, but the way he's played for Sheffield United, he's not worth 30 million. 20 million maximum probably would have been 20 million maximum, I think, for a goalkeeper who's probably going to have to be your number 2 for a while. But Curtis, we know Curtis Woodhouse. I know him very well. He was a crazy kid when I played with him as well. But he's a top man. He's got some strong views. But yeah, you know, and he's a Sheffield United ex-player, probably a little bit of a legend, and knows the club inside out. So interesting. Terrific has put, I understand your perspective, Fran, but are we in a position to spending 25 to 30 million on an all-right goalkeeper? It's just bad business, in my opinion. And I think that's where we got the problem. Quick question from Chris's partner. Question from Ruby. How can you go on and on about football all day? Ain't he got no better to do? Ain't he got a proper job? Hey, that's what people think, don't they? It's like when I say to people, they say, what do you do now for a living, friend? I say, I trade. They say, do you make any money? And I went, well, this month I've lost too much money. Is that a job? Well, yeah, it is a job. Just not very good at it at the moment, but I suppose I'm all right at YouTube. We're nearly, by the way, which is unbelievable, at monetization stage, which is the aim for everyone. So it will be great that people start recognizing us as a channel and a community, to be honest. So that will be unbelievable. But say a big shout out to Ruby. Absolutely love the question. Love the question. No excuses now. Top 4 is unrealistic, but the money that has been spent worryingly has put us in a pothole. Who was the worst player you came up against, Fran? God, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. I can tell you that. There's a lot of them. Right then, people. So, yeah, 130 million. And I just want to bring this up, right? I just want to bring this up because let me hope I can find it because I didn't here we are, right? I just want to bring this up. Let me just have a look where my screen is, right? I'm not just doing this because he's my, let me share the screen with you. Let me share the screen. I'm not just doing this because he's my, I'm not doing this because he's my boy, right? But look at this here. Can you see this here? And you've probably seen it because you all do follow Kurt, right? And we spoke about these players. Everyone else in the chat has spoke about these players, right? And this adds up to near enough the same amount of money as what we have spent, right? So you've probably seen, if you've not seen this, so Curtis's and mine was very much near enough exactly the same. Areola, what you gone for a loan? I went for Onana, try and get Onana in, but we understand what's going on with him. So Kurt was saying Areola. I think a lot would agree. Max Aarons, as we know, I love Max Aarons. Let me just get rid of this for you. Let me just get rid of this for you. Sorry, wife. Oh, the gardener's here. So I'll just shut the window, okay? Oh, it's close. Right, the gardener's here. Right, so I don't want him hearing our little chat unless he wants to get involved in the community. So just take that barrier around. So look at this. Max Aarons. I don't think no one would disagree, okay? You've then got Basuma. Don't think a lot would disagree, even though I probably would have gone for a Nevers. However, he's also gone for a Awar or a Sabitzer. Pereira, who I cannot believe we didn't go for Pereira. Keep Saliba and get a cheap build, cheap left back. Wait there. All right, it's close. Don't know if you can hear that, but it is close. I think that's money well spent. Who would agree that that is absolutely well spent money? And does anyone disagree with that? I mean, let's have a look. Let's have a look. Our recruitment has not been good enough for too long now with the players we have brought in with the money. Recruitment has been abysmal. Why didn't we go for that Onana or Awar? Peeking in the window, the dirty little... GB saw that earlier from Curtis. Those signings put us back in Europe and challenging for top 4. Edu out, Curtis in. And I've had to bring Curtis's tweet up because we were talking about it. And me and Kurt have got a very similar, the way that we speak. We're from the same area. We've both played. We've got a kind of different mindset and a different perspective of the way that it should be played. But now, don't get me wrong. It may have been hard to get those types of players because recruitment, as you know, I was in agency before. Recruitment is hard to get players to sign. There's a lot of paperwork involved. There's a lot of variables involved in trying to get people over the line. But even if you went for half of those targets and you got 2 of them, I think the fan base would be kind of all right with moving in the right direction. Now, the fact that we're going down the route of a Leicester route or whatever, trying to get people who are not proven yet and hope they go on in a selling club and a business model. I get that. But the problem is you've gone all out and you've just made a huge gamble on every single thing. Basically, he's put his job on the line. And me and Curtis spoke this morning, and Curtis was saying, Fran, I think he may have already, just with these signings, he may have sorted out his own P45. And I think that's a good point, that these signings are the ones that are either going to get him where he needs to get to, or they're going to get him the sack. So it's a big, big gamble for him to waste 130 million of the club's money. So to be fair to the Kroenkes, to give him 130 million and say, listen, I trust you. You go and get the players that you need. Your job's on the line. So to be fair to the Kroenkes, as much as people want the Kroenkes out and we don't like the way that the football club is ran, he's put his hand in his pocket and he said, there's 130 million and maybe it might go to 150 million. You need to get us back where we need to get to. So he's put his job on the line big time. Big, big time. And forgive me if you can see the gardener hear the gardener with the trimmer. As soon as he's trimmed that, he should just do the lawnmower, which might not be as loud. But he's put his job on the line big time. Wilson's put our recruitment has been absolutely awful for over a decade. No wonder Arsenal in absolute shambles. We need to be real, 100%. A while maybe, but why would Sabitzer come? He's in the Champions League, and that's the problem. When it comes to wanting players, they might not want to come, and they see it as a sinking ship. Because when you go and sign for a football club, they have to tell you what type of players they're going to go for. So they'll say, right, yes, Franny, we really want you in the building. It'll be great. We're going to offer you this. We're going to offer you that. Okay. So what type of player are we going to go for, Arteta? Mikel, what are we going to play like? What's the aim? Well, we're going to bring Tavares in. We're going to bring Odegaard. Fair enough. Some player would love to play with Odegaard. We're looking at a Ramsdale. We've got Lokonga. He's a young kid, but he's not proven yet. This, a Locatelli, a War, these big players, Latoro is thinking, boy, I might not get any goals. I might not be able to pick the ball up in the right areas. Why am I going to go and sign for a club who is on the decline? You look at all the other clubs, just like Al Beast is saying, Brendan Rodgers would do better with 130 million. Hey, listen, we would all do better with 130 million to spend. We would all do better. Now, there is a lot of dynamics. I always have to make sure I get a balanced argument, okay? That we don't know the route and what the Kroenkes and the plan have said to Arteta, or what Arteta and Edu have gone to the Kroenkes. We don't know the path. At the moment, it looks like buy low, unproven, hope, and sell for a higher price. Now, hopium is dangerous in anything that you do. Hopium is dangerous. If you've got a structure, if you've got a plan, I understand that, but you are experimenting with a club who is on the decline from greatness. I don't think you can do that. I don't think the size of club of Arsenal can experiment and completely forget about what's going on. Some clubs experiment. Man United were experimenting since Alex Ferguson left for years, and they didn't get it right for years, but they maintained. They didn't just say, right then, by the way, get rid of everyone. We're going to start all over again and then hope that we do okay. They didn't do that. 73 in the chat. Unbelievable support. By the way, a few people are still asking just about this. So quickly, everyone, make sure that you don't forget about this. And I have got some excellent news, by the way. I've got some unbelievable news. All you have to do is subscribe, look out for the videos, and you will have to comment on a video at the end of the month. But guess what? I tweeted earlier. Guess what? I can't remember who it was in the chat. They gave me a little heads up about game. All right. I managed to get one. I managed to get the PS5. So the wife was absolutely gutted that I managed to get one, but I got one. I was in a queue and I managed to get one, and I couldn't get the cheapest one. So I got one with, I think, a 12-month subscription thing. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't even know what that is. And a £50 voucher to do something on the PS Store, I think. So not only have you got the PS digital thing or whatever it is, you've also got two little goodies on the side as well. So I managed to get one, people, and it gets delivered on the end of August or the 1st of September. Cannot believe it. So someone will be happy. So make sure you share and just get hitting that subscribe. And by the way, we're nearly at all the watch hours, which is unbelievable, by the way. And that's down to you, because about a month ago, I was speaking with Curtis and I was saying to Kurt, God knows how I'm going to get all these hours. And you have just come in and wow, smashed the hours and just smashed the channel for me. So I think we can get to 2,000 by the end of this transfer window, because honestly, you've just smashed it. You've absolutely smashed it. Chris has put, why was the missus gutted? I think she thought I was never going to get my hands on one and should keep all of that money in the savings. But I've got to put it back, she said. So I better start earning some coin to try and get it back, or I'll be in the doghouse for a while. Marshall's put, hope this channel gets bigger and bigger. Great content. That's what we're here for, people. Social Dio put, that's incredible. So we managed to get our hands on that, which was spectacular. But I'm not allowed to do any more competitions for a very long time. Till I get to 10,000, she says. I've got to get to 10,000. 10,000 before I can do another competition. Can you believe it? Sure, we can do a little cheeky one, though. Sure, we can do a small one along the way. A small one. Ego is the enemy, as Lionel says. I have nothing else to say. Fran leaves the room. As you know, I might try and get Arteta this book. Come on, let's get Arteta this book, people. But yeah, so we can't do no competitions till 10K, but we'll sneak one in. We'll sneak one in at 5K. That's what we'll do. 100% we'll sneak one in at 5K. So Rion, all you have to do is make sure you've subscribed and then look out for the video. What I'm going to tell you what to do round about the end of the month, and you would just have to comment on a video, and then the system will pick a random person who's made a comment. We'll check that. Obviously, that's the subscribed. I think I can check as well. Or I can just obviously go through my subscribers. But I don't obviously want someone who's just subscribed and doesn't really contribute to the community. So I'm not sure how I can narrow it down. I'm really not. Here he is. Here he is. Here is bad, everyone. Look what this was. That's not a bad idea, by the way. That is not a bad idea. It just means everyone would have to get BTC wallets. So that is not a bad idea, but not 5K. I can tell you that. Oh, here she goes. And the wife has come in and she has said, hello, no Curtis. So the wife of Curtis rubbing the fisticuffs in the background. She said no Curtis, but I think that's a good one. 5K, we'll do a little mini Bitcoin giveaway, but we'll see what it. Hey, listen, if you give you £100 worth of Bitcoin, might be worth 10,000 in 10 years. You never know. But yeah, Curtis and the wife are having an argument. Frank, get Curtis Shaw TV on the stream. He's in the chat. I think he's busy. Kurt, if you want to come on, let me know. But I know he's sometimes busy. If you want to come on for 10 minutes, mate, let me know. Give me a little thumbs in the chat, Kurt, if you want to come, and I'll send you the link. We'll just go over quickly because I didn't manage to get on your stream earlier, mate. My apologies. So let me know if you want to come on. The fans have shouted you, Kurt. The fans have shouted you. How to Be a Co-Man by Mikhail. That should be his book, that's for sure. Family Feud, eh? Family Feud. Big up Fran and you guys in the chat. Just got in from work. Brandon, you've missed an absolute burner, to be fair. Great stream today. Everyone's saying big up to Curtis as always. Great support. Wife's put that her ears are burning. Old type, by the way. Curtis Shaw TV on Mrs. Green in the chat. Old type people. It could be what's it called? Could be like what do you call it? MMA fight with a wife and Curtis. Fran's the OG cone man. If you don't know the story, I was actually a cone when I was a YTS. You could not do that these days, could you? I want £200 of X or Ada, Fran. And I want a cut. Yeah, get yourself in X. X looks like it's going to have a crash, though, to be fair. But long-term, X will be the one, and try and stake your X. Big up to you and all the family, YXTV. Unbelievable. I don't even know where my phone is to see if Curtis is available. They will let me know. When if he'll let me know. Let me check my WhatsApp. No, he's not messaged me yet. Curtis, if you're still around, let me know. Over chat, Levan has put Fran, that wasn't from Kroenke's pocket. Yeah, maybe. We know that you can obviously offset money. Mr. Dollar has put big up Fran. Good evening. Do you feel sorry for Arteta? He's clearly feeling the heat. You know what? Don't feel sorry for him because the decisions that he's made are unbelievable. Mrs. Fran, did you fiddle with the settings on Fran's camera? The wife didn't have the camera today, so hopefully it should last. Hopefully. Let's not talk too soon. She didn't have the camera today. 150 million from Arsenal merch, TV revenue, etc. Probably. That PS5 will be a nice Xmas present for someone. Good luck, everyone. Yeah, it will be good. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, so Kurt said he's going to eat. By the way, everyone, Kurt's cooking. I hope he's cooking some healthy food because he went to the gym this morning. He's going to try and jump on near the end. So let me just try and get on here now. What I'll do while everyone's on here, let me just I'll do it via here. Let me do it via here, people. I'll send him the chat, the link. See if he comes on, but he is busy, so he may not be able to get on. Where are we? Where are we? What's going on? Oh, here we are. Here we are, people. Let me just do this quickly. This might work. And then we will send. Let's send him the chat. Where are we? I have to do this because I have this screen, by the way, everyone. I have this screen. Where is he? Wait there. Wait there, people. Wait there. Wait there. Wait there, people. Quick. I have to do so many things at once. There we are. All right. So he should be on soon. He's just having something to eat now. Just having something on. So I'll get him on for 10 minutes and see what he's saying. But yeah, so everyone, I just think what's going on with Arteta, the fact of the matter is that the 130 million that was spent, I think most people would spent it a completely different way. And I know a lot of you are saying, has he put himself under pressure? And I think it's exactly what he's done. I think that he's put himself under huge pressure because he thought he had a lot more time than he's possibly got. He got the backing from the Kroenkes, and the Kroenkes didn't understand what I think he's trying to do because they're not football people. They're not football people. So him and Edu have pulled the wool over their eyes, and you never know, maybe Brian envelopes. And he thinks he's got a lot more time than he has to build this team. And I get that he's trying to build something. And I'm all for building something. I really am. I think things take time. I think you have to compound. But the problem you got, you're at Arsenal Football Club who demands some kind of success. Okay, we understand we're not fighting for the top four. We get that, Arsenal. We get we're not fighting for the top four. And I also very much understand the game inside out, having been played it and been involved in it for 25 years or 30 years of my life. So I understand the dynamics and I understand the elements and how the motors work in a football club. And we may have not been able to get the players that we want. There may be a new structure that we're not going to sign anyone over the age of 27 or 28, whatever it may be. There are chairmen that do that. If you've got a lot of time to do that. But I don't think Arteta has this time to do that with the stature of our football club. Are we a big club? 100% we're a big club. Are we one of the biggest clubs in England? No, we're not one of the biggest clubs in England anymore. Well, tell a lie. I got that wrong. We are one of the biggest clubs in England, but we're not up there performance-wise, team-wise, budget-wise, and ambition-wise at the moment. Give Wenger 150, he would have challenged for the league. Why did they give it Mikel? Listen, he gave Wenger 150. I think he would have most probably won the league because he was managed to get the best players. It's a different era, though, so we can't really compare. You know, hindsight is a great thing. Dan, we'll have to rewatch. Hope all you guys blessed, safe. We spent 150 now, just like I told Big C. We could have got Conte, gave him 200 million. He would know what to do, 100%. 7 days is a long time in football, Fran. Arteta needs a result now. 7 days, as social DRG has reminded me, 7 days is a long time in football, especially where we are at the moment, pre-season, etc., things like that. We are in a very critical time. False sense of security. He is in luck. He wasn't sacked after the Burnley game at home last season. The only reason I don't think the pressure was amped because no one was in the stadium. But do you think Arsenal fans are a bit judgmental with our new signings, like, for example, Tielemans and Leicester didn't have a big name, and look at him now? I do think that our fan base don't give players an opportunity to do well. They will quickly change, like the wind, if he does well. But I also think Leicester get away with a different type of transfer window because Leicester fans are just happy to be where they are at the moment. I think if Leicester finished 8th, the fans would still be okay, if you know what I mean. They've just overachieved, some would say. Their journey, their dreams and their journey came too soon to them. They didn't realize it was going to happen the way that it did. They got a lot of luck along the way, but their plan worked probably sooner than they would have thought it was going to. You know, their plan did work sooner than they thought it was going to. So, Ashton's point, I hope Mikel proves me wrong, but I don't see this ending well. And listen, you're not alone there, Ashton. I think everybody wants to be proven wrong. I would take being proven wrong all day of the week if Arteta does well with this team. Of course. I also think, though, there's a lot of people who don't want him to succeed. And I question your intentions if that's the case. If you don't want him to succeed, what are your intentions, you know? It's a strange one. A Sunday's put doesn't look like we brought was the clear plan. I think that is a plan. I think the plan of what they've done is a clear plan. I've got to be honest. I can't see it any other way. Why would they go for these players if their plan was not to buy young, cheap, hope they improve, and sell at a higher price? You know, Darren's in as well. He's put big up Fran, FF community, just locked in from a conference. Work cool. We'll watch from the start. Hit the like button. Yeah, don't worry, son. Everyone's got to work. Chris, our players are more than capable of winning most games they play. Arteta's style is causing an issue. That's also another problem. I think that these players are talented. And I think a lot of people would get more out of this team. We do have a problem with the so-called senior players having a personality clash with Arteta, okay? We do have that problem, which is concerning. He's clearly trying to get them all out of the window. He's trying to get the older ones, the personality clashes, the ones who are kind of leadership, because he doesn't want anyone to question his philosophy, his style, his beliefs, which I get as a manager, as a boss, okay? He thinks that those other players will undermine him. He thinks that those other players will take control of what he's trying to do. And I've been there, and I've been blamed of undermining managers, and I have at times gone against what the manager is asking me to do. But I thought at the time I was doing it because I wanted my team to win. When actually, when I educated myself, I understood that actually it looked like I was an enemy towards the manager, even though I wanted to win and he wanted to win. I couldn't understand why he would not want me to win, but it was undermining his ego. Maybe what he should have done and I should have done was come together and thought, listen, that's not really working, but I want you to be my captain and I need you to do X, Y, Z. That would have maybe worked, but I needed more education on the way I worked as a person back then. And some other people don't realize that they need education on. They're not so aware of certain things of what they want to do in life. I think we always need to improve every day. And Arteta struggles with that. Great channel. Keep up the work, bro. Love it, Antoine. 100%. Buenos Aires is saying to obviously Ashton. Strivik, how can a manager be on a club for 1.5 years and still not know his starting 11? Have a playing style, absolute fraudulence. And I fully understand where you are coming from that, Strivik. I really, really do. So it looks like we have got absolute ledge in the building. Let me bring him in. He's here. Here he is. Here he is. What's happening, mate?
Yo. What are you saying, bro?
Can you hear me, yeah?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, good. Hey, listen. They shouted for you. They said, listen, what's he cooking? What are you cooking?
Bro, do you know what? At the moment, I'm eating beer like meat and veg. That's like, you know, just like
veg, yeah?
Just chicken and broccoli, bro. That's it.
Yeah, that's the way forward, mate.
That's the way, man. You know what I'm saying? So, nah, big up everyone in the chat. Make sure you subscribe to Fran's channel. I'm sure you are anyway.
I didn't manage to get on yours earlier, mate. I came in a little bit late, so. But everyone's saying the chat was a good stream as well again, so good.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's all right, man. What are we going on about? Arteta, innit? Arsenal.
Yeah, like you said, I was saying, you try and speak about other things. I touched on the Man City. Obviously, Vlahovic has now popped up. Interesting, etc. But we're on this Arteta now, and I brought your tweet up. I brought your tweet up about where you would have spent 130 million. It's very similar to a lot of people's mind, etc. in the chat. And And we spoke this morning at length about has he basically started printing his P45? It's a big risk with the type of players that he's gone for, and also it's a clear model of what he's trying to go for. But does he have the time, and is he at the wrong club for this? Is this club too big to be trying to do this model when we're in a crisis? Let's be honest. What do you think?
Yeah, like this is what I was saying earlier, Fran. Like you look at the 5 signings, that they all look like investments. None of them look like players where you're saying he's going to come in and just take this team to the next level. They all look like players that you think, oh, well, if he has a good year, 2 years, he's going to be worth maybe double whatever they paid for him, which from a business point of view, that's great. But what about from the football point of view? We need, I would say Arsenal are in a crisis. I got to be honest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 8th 2 years in a row should be a crisis for a club the size of Arsenal. But it's just crazy because we've all been there saying we want Arsenal to spend money. They're now the top spenders in the entire league. And I'm like, I don't know if them signings are enough. I feel like we've gone for quantity rather than quality. Do you know what I mean? You look at United and Chelsea. I know we can't buy the players that they're buying because they're in the Champions League, but they're buying players that from day one improve their team. They lift the mentality of the football club. We brought in a lot of players that, to me, they look like they're easy to manage for Arteta. They look like players that he can boss them around. They'll take it. They haven't done that much in their career. They're going to listen to him. And it seems like that's the kind of player that he wants. So for me, I'm not excited about the signings. I hope. I'm always hopeful. But at the same time, I would have liked to have been a bit more excited by the players, man.
I think that's a good point where you said these players are probably not going to question what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
And I think that's why he's tried to get rid of all the big dogs kind of out the window, because they're going to have personalities, they're leaders, they're a little bit rebellious at times, which top players tend to be. They're very different. That's why they're better than the average player. And we've seen with the way that he's dealt with Aubameyang, Lacazette, David Luiz, anyone with a little bit of, a little bit of swag or just a little bit of substance about them, you don't want them around. Whereas people say, well, Saka and ESR did really well last year. It's because he's gave them the opportunity. So the energy levels and the respect that they have for Arteta are going to be the highest, aren't they? Because they're like, well, he gave me my chance. And that's probably why the model of these players are not going to question me. These players are they're going to tell them what I want them. They're going to do what I ask them to do. I got no bad apples in the changing rooms. Problem is, if these aren't good enough to play the way that he wants to play, then we're gonna keep going down, because for me, and we've said it numerous times on numerous streams, that he's not going to change because I don't think he knows how to change. For example, me and you, we've played. If we can't play out from the back, we'll smash it 60 yards and we'll get up the pitch, won't we? And then you might get a Jamie Vardy to get on the end of it. And no one wants to see that type of football. No one wants to see it. However, that's where Man City at times have come unstuck. They'll be losing 1-0, Champions League final. You got 3 minutes left, trying to play out from the back.
Yeah.
Rather than getting it forward. Because I don't think Arteta knows how to play that old type English dog rough get in your face way, which at times we need. Definitely against Brentford. Against Brentford, we should have just got it into spaces and tried to rough them up, because that's what they did to us. They didn't play it. They didn't play it standing, did they, Brentford? They just roughed us up a bit and pressed us high.
And do you know what's crazy about that? Huh? And the mad thing about that, Arteta has played for Everton under David Moyes, who, let's face it, Moyes doesn't play pretty football. He played in Scotland for Rangers, where, you know, the Scottish League can get a bit physical and more direct and things like that. So he should know a different way of playing. It's not like Pep's the only manager he's ever worked with in his career, but I think because Pep is the manager that he worked with as a coach, and because Pep had so much success, he's thinking, it's like he's just trying to mirror everything what he did. But as we've said time and time again, you've got to have a certain type of player. This man's got 50 million pound defenders, 2 of them, 3 of them. He's got Laporte on the bench who costs 62 million on the bench. Their bench is worth more than our team. But I agree with what you said. I think Arteta's written out his own P45. I think he's walked in the reception and just typed it up himself. Because if it doesn't work this year, there's no excuse. There's no. Last year, everyone go, he needs a full preseason. All right, well, he just had a full preseason. We won 2 out of 6. Oh, he needs another transfer window. All right, you've spent more than any team in the Premier League. So now what? Now we're expecting results. You've got Chelsea this weekend at home. I mean, there's 13,000 tickets available. They haven't even sold yet. I'm telling you now, if they get beat by a couple of goals or 3 goals by Chelsea, that ground is going to be toxic from Sunday. The fans will. You just know. You know already. It's not. It's not just based off that one game. It's the whole of last season as well. So it's a tough one.
It's true. I mean, it's a good point here. You know, Pep was a great player when he speaks. Players listen. Arteta was good, but nowhere near that level. Now he's trying to lecture Aubameyang and Lacazette, and it's a good point. Footballers are the same as everyone else. They're humans. They're going to respond to players like. We've done it like, mate, you can't even kick a ball. And you're trying to tell me what to do. Or he's played, don't get me wrong, but it's a good point. I don't think they respect him. But we was on about the fan base earlier, how all fan bases are, kind of toxic in a way, but ours seems to get larger and larger and more toxic every season at the moment. And no one wants to lose against Spurs. And after that, no one wants to lose against Chelsea. So we've not been bad against Chelsea last few seasons, as we know, but I just can't see where a performance comes from with this team at the moment. I don't see where a performance comes from. And if Lacazette and Aubameyang aren't playing, which nothing's been said since, then I don't know how you're going to score goals, for one. One, I don't know who's going to score a goal. And 2, how we're going to keep them quiet going forward, because they're very good going forward. And now they've added Lukaku. They just didn't finish their chances last year. They're very, very good going forward. So there's a lot of negativity going around. And you're like me, Kurt. We try and be positive as much as we can. Like Martin's put it.
I see it, Martin. I see it.
It's one of those positive.
Listen, the crazy thing here? Arsenal will corrupt you as a person, innit? You know that? Like, we're positive people. We have them conversations all the time. I'm all about positivity and living your life the right way and good karma and all that. But Arsenal will corrupt you people. And I said this earlier on my stream. I said, listen, your channel has to be your church. I can only give you the truth. That's all I can give you. I can't tell you that I'm excited about Aaron Ramsdale. I can't tell you that I think we're going to beat Chelsea if I don't feel that. And it might be the harsh reality. But that's the only way we're going to turn things around, if we acknowledge the problem. That's the only way.
Yeah, it is. And I was saying, when I was on the outside, before I got involved in this game, I was involved, but I weren't really involved. I didn't really think, you know what? I didn't really go. I was always positive, like always positive. Instantly, I've been in this game 2 minutes and I'm thinking to myself, am I being too negative? Is it too negative? What do I say? I try and be positive. I'm bringing books out left, right, and center for everyone.
I've seen it. That's the Arteta book, isn't it? But there's nothing you can do. What are we supposed to do? Like, we can't not be who we are or say what we think. Like, if we finished 8th 2 years in a row, something's going wrong. Managers under pressure, owners under pressure, technical director is. We've made 5 signings and we're not excited. So what are they giving us to be excited about? Unless they get a result, but I think it'll be difficult.
I mean, to have 5 signings and spend 130 million and be semi all right, and I'm a love Odegaard, but to be semi that I've got Odegaard, that's it. Not excited. And I'm thinking, I get the model. I'm trying my hardest to understand exactly what he's trying to do, and I get it. Do I accept it? I've got to accept it. Do I understand it? I'm trying to understand it. Do I like it? No, I can't stand what's going on. So I'm trying to get a balance of what's going on, but that's going to quickly be gone out the window if we don't win games. The Kroenkes are going to say, wait a minute. They have to wake up sooner or later and say, this is the worst it's ever been. We're getting messages. We're getting people from outside saying, you need to do something about Arsenal Football Club before you take it down to the ground. That's when I think they're going to start waking up. When big people who they listen to say, you got to do something about this football club because the fans have had enough. And when people say fans can't really do much. And to a certain degree, as you know, they don't. We've seen Mike Ashley. We've seen the Glaziers. We've seen that. With the Glaziers, they did a little bit. I think they went out and spent a little bit of money and said, right, go and do this, go and do that. Not still turning up to games. But there just become a point where not so much your everyday fan, but maybe a fan with a little bit of status. Maybe a fan who's a somebody. If they was to speak out or they got connections with the Kroenkes and say, maybe you need a little bit of help from the football point of view, that message may somehow sink in. But it'll only be if Arteta keeps dragging us through the mud. Because if he wins against Chelsea, it's all forgotten about. Brentford's forgotten about. And then he's got another 3 games because you're expected to lose against Man City. You've got West Brom in the EFL, who wouldn't surprise me if they bosh us the way they've started the season, you know? And then at Norwich, like, well, you know, he's expected to beat Norwich. So it's a weird one. A lot of people saying, do you lose 5 games on the spin to get him out? Or what do you do?
Do you know what it is, Fran? For me, like, I don't think Arteta's the right manager, but I will support him while he's in charge. Because if he does well, Arsenal do well, and we're Arsenal fans. My worry is we're all sitting here going, okay, if we get Arteta out, we'll get Antonio Conte, we'll go for Zidane. He won't go for a manager like that. He'll go for somebody mid-table, cheap, probably out of work, who might even be on a similar level. So he's got to upgrade him. This is the whole point. And this is where my disappointment has been from this window, because if you sell players, you're supposed to upgrade them with better players. I think most Arsenal fans are sitting there going, are these 5 signings better than players we've already got? We loaned out Saliba, bought Ben White. Is Ben White better than Saliba? Or how much better is he than Saliba? Do you know what I mean? Lokonga. You know what I'm saying? We let Guendouzi go. Yeah, like you're supposed to bring in a new signing and say, he's a lot better than the guy we had before in that same position. It just looks to me like they've spent a lot of money and we're in a bit of a similar position that we was in before. So, yeah, I mean...
Are we worse? Are we worse? Are we worse than last season?
It's mad, isn't it? Because I suppose last season we had Matt Ryan. I mean, he was a steady number 2. We had Odegaard anyway. I'd like to think Ben White is better than David Luiz, but David Luiz actually had on the ball. Yeah, I don't know if he is, because I think David Luiz was very good on the ball. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I mean. We spent 130. We don't even know if we're better. How does that make sense? That doesn't make no sense. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know if we're better.
I don't think we are. Only time will tell.
Yeah.
But at the moment, going on the players that I see and going on our performance, it was only one performance. We're not better than last year. I can't see it, which is strange, because we had spells where we was all right last year. We was all right.
Yeah.
We was better, especially when we was high pressing. Chelsea will be a test, as we know. We're not expected to beat them, but last year we did well. People will turn up. But a lot of people, and I would be for one, to question, are we actually going to be better than last year? And I just can't see it at the minute. Lokonga's good, all right? But is he going to make us better than we were last year? I don't know.
He's not going to make us much better, is it?
Yeah, he's not a world beater.
No.
Now, the problem you've got is, Ben White's great on the ball. Ben White is good on the ball. But David Luiz, they're going on a different journey. They was going on a different path. I understand that. David Luiz was saying, and Matt Ryan was saying, the club are looking to go a different direction. We've all been there, and I understand that. However, David Luiz is better than Ben White. He's better on the ball, and he can actually defend better, and he's going to win more aerial battles than 49%. But I get with the Ben White signing, because they're trying to move forward, out with the old and in with the new. I get that, but I'm just not sure. And the positives for me are, I like the way he's trying to go. And if these signings pay off and can hit the ground running, it will look like a little bit of a genius move. I like that model. However, what I don't like is there's no plan B. I see the plan A, but the plan A's, we're not there yet. So there's no plan B. So we're in the middle of A and B at the minute, which I think everyone's just getting confused about.
For me, what I think he's done wrong in this window, it's almost as if he's gone for numbers rather than the level of the player. I would have rather Arsenal bought 2 real quality players that make a big difference. That midfielder to play next to Thomas Partey, to give us that engine. And you know, another player, maybe the centre-back or the right-back, you know. So even if you haven't bought 5, but you've spent 130 million on 2 players who make you 20% better, you know, and that's what I think he's done wrong. I think they've gone for numbers. Get a left-back, get a keeper, get a centre-back, get this.
Yeah.
When you haven't got all that money, you've got to find another way. Could we have kept Saliba and not bought Ben White and spent 50 million on a central midfielder? Or, you know, you've also got to get rid of players. We've only sold 1 player this summer for money, Joe Willock. Do you know what I mean? And obviously,
got to get him out.
You got to get him out. Now I'm hearing Torreira has to stay. They're getting rid of him. But clubs don't want to buy anyone. They're all saying, well, we'll take them on loan with an option. So we could be back to square one next summer, where they all get sent back and we've still got them. So, like everyone's saying, time will tell. Listen, if we look at this season, if I ignore the rubbish from last season, if I just try and look at it with a positive head, we've signed 5 players. They're all young. They're hungry. They'll be happy to be here. Apart from Odegaard, who might be a little bit, Real Madrid didn't work. But you hope they bring a hunger, a determination, and an energy and a freshness to the team that will lift the level of the other players. You know, we need the more experienced players to step up. Your Partey, Aubameyang, Lacazette, Pepe. Yeah. They're the ones I'm looking at more than these younger ones. But the Chelsea game is... I'm worried about that game. I got to be honest. I got a ticket. I'm not going. You know what I mean? I'm going to do the watch along.
The watch along could be like a sad scene in Emmerdale, bro.
You know, like the end, like, you know, like when something goes wrong at the end and then the program finishes, the end of EastEnders. It could be like that. Phil Mitchell.
Before we wrap it up, it's a good question here. As former professionals, did you ever obviously down tools, etc., to get the manager the boot? And seems like Aubameyang and obviously Lacazette are doing that. So I'll let you go first, Kurt.
No, never. But the circumstances were totally different for me because, for one, they've got security in their football career. You know, they are sitting on 3-4 year contracts. In the lower leagues, a lot of the time, you're on a 1-year deal. You're trying to get the next deal. You can't afford to down tools, bro. You got a mortgage to pay. There ain't no down in tools in the lower league. So for me, I have fell out with managers, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. But I can say I've never down tools.
Yeah, for me, I've never down tools. I fell out with managers, but I've always known that we was always told that you never know who's in the stand. Yeah, Kurt makes a good point about we didn't make enough money to retire at 30. We didn't make enough. We had to work after football. So you're always worried about, well, I got bills to pay next year. You don't sit on 6-year deals where you're a millionaire. So personally, I've never done it. I have seen players that have done it, but I think it would be a lot easier for these players to do that because they're set for life, and they know the club have to pay them millions to get rid of them as well. So it's very different, very, very different. So
yeah.
Right, everyone. We've gone over 10 minutes, overtime again. Curtis, I'm going to let you go, mate. I really appreciate you coming on after your meat and veg, mate. So enjoy. I'll speak to you tomorrow, mate. So you take care, pal.
Yeah, man. All the best. Big up everyone in the chat.
See you later, mate. Yeah, good that he popped on. There we go, people. So Great stream as always, people. Have a look at a few more. Fran, you're doing a live coverage of the process since you will be there on Sunday. I think I'm going to go there. Very busy this weekend. As you know, I'm doing the radio up in Preston on the Saturday. And then on the Sunday, I wanted to do a watch along. If the protest is there, I'm not sure how we're going to do it. So I'll speak to Curtis and might, I don't know, jump on his down south or whatever. I'm not too sure. So we will see. You mean you only stole Audi R8s, Fran? Yeah, that was different. That was the chairman. I never down tools. I just told him that I'll take your car. Great stream again. The only reason we are splashing the cash this transfer window is to make Silent Stand look good on Amazon series. True. Mailer said Livermore picked up the ball and booted it in training, disrespect and force a move. I used to be with the company that looked after Jake. So I know Jake personally, know him quite well. But most players do crazy things. I've done crazy things. I got sent off twice in training for things like that. But never really down tools when it comes to playing, to be honest, because you never know who's watching. Don't forget it's shirtless protest, Fran. Big up, Fran. Big up, everyone else. Unbelievable. 95 likes and 73 in the chat. Really do appreciate it. And almost 100 likes, which is fantastic by everyone. Trevor's put the excuses season will be there are fans in the stadium, so Arteta couldn't explain his tactics and the players because it was too noisy. And last one, Bjorn's put, hi, Frank, congrats with Odegaard. Great signing for you. I also think it's a great signing, and thank you ever so much. Right then, everyone, I'm going to shoot off. Really do appreciate it. Over an hour today. Superb. Big love to Curtis coming in and massive support from everyone else in the chat. I will love you all and leave you, and I will see you all tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Enjoy an end to the week tomorrow. And let's see what tomorrow brings. Which club will we bring in us some news? More than likely it will be Arsenal. But let's see what happens in the Premier League and all the other leagues, if anything happens. So really appreciate it. You take care. Don't forget to hit the subscribe and share the video. And I will see you all later. You take care.